Now in this last video on gold, we're going to talk about what is to me the most entertaining argument I've ever heard for owning gold, and that is it protects us against some kind of societal stress. Amazing. So gold bugs I know have told me that if society suffers some kind of a stress, like a disruption in food distribution for example, gold is going to help you and protect you. Amazing. So all you have to do in case society suffers any kind of ill is hold gold and something will happen and you'll be protected from it. Okay, let's examine this one. Now times of stress vary quite a bit from mild to nightmarish, and I'm going to go through a few of those possible scenarios, and obviously there's an infinite number of possible scenarios, but I hope you'll get the point by the end of this video. So it's quite possible that owning gold is at best irrelevant, and at worst will be forgive this, a shit magnet. Now I'll start by looking at what I call light stress, which is a major market sell-off. So if stock markets around the world sort of collapse for whatever reason, will gold protect you? Here we have another graph. This graph compares the monthly gold return from 1975 to 2012 and stock market returns. We see no relationship between gold and stocks. So gold does not protect you from falling stocks. The safe haven argument says that if gold is a hedge against falling stocks, there should be very little instances in the lower left-hand quadrant. There are lots of instances in the lower left-hand quadrant, so gold as hedge against financial stress is a fail. Gold does not protect you against financial stress. The next type of stress is what I call moderate stress, and that's a situation where government is still very much in control and people are working on the problem, but there is a major disruption in one or more services that people rely upon. Now in that situation, your gold may have some value. Think, hey Bob, I'll trade you 5 ounces of my gold for a case of your water. Now assuming Bob has lots of water and he believes the price of gold is going to stay constant or will allow him to buy what he needs, then he may make that trade. If he believes that the price of gold is irrelevant and water is a life-saving commodity and gold is useless, in that circumstance, then he will not make the trade. So it really sort of depends, and it's one of those situations where you may not want to bet your life on it. It may be a situation where gold is at best useless. You can't heat your house with it, treat a wound with it, eat it, drink it, do anything of use with it, or it may actually cause you some harm because if people know you're hoarding large amounts of gold, like Gollum sitting on his precious, that actually may make you a target for murder or assault or whatever else. In my view, based on my experiences in this country and others, in a situation where there's moderate stress, you probably actually want to be a member of a mutual support community. You want to be a member of this community rather than being some loner off hoarding his gold like Gollum sitting on his precious. If you do want to be a gold loner, at least have the wherewithal to make yourself something like a solar still, because you need water to live. You don't need gold. The next scenario I want to talk about is what I call heavy stress. This is a situation where government may or may not break down, multiple systems have gone down, and civil disobedience and violence is becoming the norm. In this situation, someone who has hoarded gold needs to A, get to his gold, B, find a market where he can barter his gold for something of use, C, safely transport his gold to said market, D, transport commodities back from that market to where he lives or where he's holed up. Another situation where gold is at best useless and may make you a target for something nasty to happen to you. So again, in this sort of nasty situation where society is breaking down further and further, I don't see any kind of argument for gold protecting you in any way, and actually may make you a target for murder, as I say. The gold hoarder also has no way of knowing what the market price of anything is going to be in this nightmare scenario world, assuming he can protect himself or herself. How much gold are you willing to pay or trade for a bottle of water in a situation where you haven't drank for 2 days? Water will save your life in that situation. How much are you willing to pay for food? Unless you've been really hungry or really thirsty, you don't know what the utility value of gold is. We don't know what the market is going to set in terms of the price for gold, and so that gold you have may actually be a lot less valuable than you think it is. And so my advice to people, again, if they're thinking about this nightmare scenario, you want to hoard things other than gold, and you want to actually become a member of some sort of a community that can help each other out. Learn skills like battlefield medicine, learn how to grow things, learn how to fix wounds, and so on, if you're really that interested in protecting yourself against major societal breakdown. So in sum, the idea that gold is a way to protect yourself against societal stress is a very, very silly one. It's even more silly than the inflation hedge and currency hedge argument. And so my advice to people who are worried about this sort of thing, who actually think about this sort of thing, first is lighten up a little bit. Life's not that terrible. And two, if you're really, really worried about those things, there are other things you can do than hoard gold, things that will actually improve your chances of survival. As usual, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this little series on gold investing. I know there's a lot of gold bugs who watch this channel pretty religiously. I look forward to your comments and questions, and see you next time.